Ladies and gentlemen, time is the currency of life. Unlike money, you cannot earn more of it, you cannot borrow it, and you cannot store it away for later. Each tick of the clock is a reminder that life is moving with or without your permission. The question is not whether you have enough hours in the day, because we all have 24. The question is, how do you spend those hours? Do they control you, or do you control them? Do your days slip away quietly, or do they shout with progress, achievement, and meaning? The truth is, mastering your time is mastering your life. If you waste your days, you waste your potential. But if you learn to command your hours, you can build a future filled with purpose, balance, and success. And here's the beauty. You don't need a lifetime to start. You only need a plan, a simple 7-day commitment that can shift the direction of your entire life. Imagine what it would feel like if, in just 1 week, you could take back your time, reclaim your focus, and finally move with intention instead of reaction. That is what we are here for today. A practical, powerful plan to master your time so your days no longer pass by unnoticed, but rather they build the life you've been dreaming about. So if you are ready to stop drifting and start directing, if you are ready to make your time serve you instead of the other way around, then lean in, take notes, and prepare, because these next 7 days can become the foundation of the rest of your life. My friends, let me begin with this. Without clarity, time becomes a thief, not because someone stole it from you, but because you handed it away hour by hour, minute by minute, to distractions that never deserved your attention in the first place. Time does not ask for your permission to pass. It keeps moving day and night without pause, without mercy. And if you do not have a clear plan for where, let me give you a truth. Your schedule is a moral document. It reveals your values. If you tell me family matters to you, but your schedule has no time for your family, then the truth is family is not your priority. It's only your sentiment. If you tell me health matters, but your calendar has no room for exercise or rest, then health is not your priority. It's only your wish. Your life follows your schedule, and your schedule reveals your commitments. This is why clarity is so powerful. When you design your week with intention, you are declaring what is important to you, not just in words, but in time. And that is where transformation begins. Think about it. What would happen if you started your day with a clear written plan, not a vague idea, not a mental note, but a visible, concrete schedule? Your energy would shift, your focus would sharpen, your distractions would weaken, because clarity gives birth to discipline, and discipline gives birth to freedom. Freedom? Yes, freedom. Many people think scheduling is a prison. They think, if I schedule my time, I'll feel trapped. No, my friends, it's the opposite. When you schedule your time, you are not trapped. You are liberated. Why? Because you are no longer enslaved to chaos. You are no longer a victim of every call, every message, every sudden demand. You are free to say no because your yes is already on the calendar. That is real freedom. But clarity requires courage. You must be willing to face your reality and ask, where is my time truly going? For many, the answer is painful. Hours disappear into television, social media, gossip, procrastination, stolen by habits that bring no return. Yet clarity demands honesty. If you do not confront the truth, you cannot change it. So here is the challenge. For the next 7 days, do not simply live your life, design it. Each night, before you rest, take 15 minutes to plan the next day. Write it down, block the hours, choose your top 3 priorities, the ones that matter most, and give them prime time. Don't leave them for scraps of leftover energy. Put them first, where your focus is strongest. Imagine how powerful your life would become if every day had a clear agenda, every week had a clear direction, and every month pointed toward a clear goal. That is not just productivity, that is progress, and progress is happiness. A person who sees progress, even in small steps, feels alive. But a person who feels stuck, who sees no movement, begins to wither inside. That is the danger of living without clarity. Now let me tell you another secret about clarity. It creates momentum. The moment you see your priorities on paper and you begin to execute them, something awakens in you. You feel in control, you feel capable. And when you stack one clear, productive day on top of another, suddenly a week has changed, then a month, then a year. And before long, your entire life has shifted, all because you chose clarity over confusion. And don't miss this. Clarity also simplifies your decisions. Without clarity, every opportunity, every request, every invitation feels urgent. You say yes to everything because you have no framework for saying no. But when you have clarity, your decision-making becomes easy. If something aligns with your priorities, it's a yes. If it doesn't, it's a no. That is the power of a clear schedule. It removes the burden of constant decision-making. Now let's address the enemy of clarity, distraction. Distraction is the destroyer of schedules. It whispers just 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, until your day is gone. You must learn to guard your clarity. That means silencing the noise. Turn off notifications when you are in focus mode. Protect your workspace. Respect your own boundaries. If you don't protect your schedule, no one else will. And let me add this. Clarity is not rigid. It is flexible. Life has surprises, emergencies, interruptions. That's fine. Clarity is not about perfection, it's about direction. A plane flying across the Otapmacham. Xi'an is off course 90% of the time, but it keeps adjusting. Why? Because it knows the destination. Your schedule is the same. Even if you get interrupted, even if the day shifts, you can adjust and return because you know where you're going. So here's the message. Don't let your time be accidental. Don't let your life be shaped by random urgencies. Decide, design, direct, because when you gain clarity in your scheduling, you gain clarity in your living. Let me close this keynote with a question, a serious one. If someone were to look at your calendar right now, would they see a life by design or a life by default? Would they see priorities or distractions? Would they see progress or drift? The answer to that question is the answer to the quality of your life. And the beauty is you can change it today. All it takes is clarity. For when you master your schedule, you master your destiny. My friends, let us talk about the quiet architects of destiny, your daily rituals. Life is not built in the grand events. It is not shaped by the once-in-a-lifetime decisions or the sudden strokes of luck. No, life is carved day after day by the habits you repeat, the rituals you uphold, the routines that either lift you towards success or pull you into mediocrity. Show me a person's rituals and I will show you their future. Because the truth is simple. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day, and failure is nothing more than a few small errors in judgment repeated every day. The tragedy is that both look the same in the beginning. Neither success nor failure shouts at you on day one, but give it time, weeks, months, years, and the difference becomes a canyon. Now, why do I call them rituals and not just habits? Because a ritual carries meaning. A ritual is intentional. A ritual is not just what you do, it is how you do it and why you do it. Habits can be unconscious, but rituals are sacred. Rituals are the building blocks of a life well lived. Think about the farmer. He doesn't plant seeds once in a while and hope for a harvest. No, every day he tends the soil, waters the field, watches the growth. The harvest is not a miracle. It is the predictable result of daily rituals. The same is true for you. The harvest of health, of wealth, of relationships, of wisdom, it all comes from what you do consistently, not occasionally. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine two men. Both wake up at 6 a.m. One spends his first 30 minutes scrolling through distractions, checking other people's lives, feeding his mind with noise. The other spends those same 30 minutes reading, planning, exercising, feeding his mind with ideas, feeding his body with energy. After one day, there is no visible difference. After a week, the difference is still small. But after 1 year, the first man has wasted 182 hours on nothingness, while the second has invested 182 hours into growth. Multiply that by 10 years, and you do not even recognize them as the same type of man anymore. That is the power of daily rituals. So the question becomes, what rituals are you building? Because whether you realize it or not, you already have. Them. The question is not if you have rituals. The question is if they are serving you or destroying you. Drinking water in the morning is a ritual. So is reaching for your phone. Writing down your goals is a ritual. So is hitting snooze 5 times. Every action you repeat carries a harvest, good or bad. That is why you must choose your rituals with intention. Don't leave them to chance. Don't let comfort or convenience decide them. You must design them with the future in mind. Ask yourself, what rituals will carry me to the life I desire? Then practice them until they become automatic. Let me give you a truth. Motivation will get you started, but rituals will keep you going. You cannot rely on inspiration every day. Some mornings you will not feel like working. Some evenings you will not feel like learning. That is normal. The difference between success and failure is what happens on those days. The successful person keeps going, not because of willpower, but because the ritual is stronger than the mood. And here's the beauty of rituals. They compound. Just as money compounds with interest, actions compound with repetition. Reading 10 pages a day may feel small, but in a year that is 3,650 pages, roughly 15 books. 15 books could change the way you think, the way you live, the way you earn. Writing a single paragraph a day may feel small, but in a year that's a full book. Doing 10 push-ups daily may feel small, but in a year that's 3,650 push-ups and a stronger, healthier body. Rituals make the invisible visible over time. But rituals not only build progress, they build identity. When you keep a ritual, you begin to see yourself differently. You are not just a person who writes, you are a writer. Not just a person who exercises, you are healthy. Not just a person who saves, you are disciplined with money. Rituals create evidence, and evidence builds belief. Once your belief strengthens, your behavior follows, and the cycle continues upward. Now here's the caution. Rituals can also compound in the wrong direction. Just as small disciplines create greatness, small neglects create disaster. 5 minutes of negativity each day compounds into a bitter outlook. Skipping exercise every morning compounds into weakness and disease. Spending without thought compounds into debt. You don't ruin your life in a day, but daily neglects can do the job quietly, silently, until one day you wake up and wonder how you arrived in such a place. So, my friends, be vigilant. Audit your rituals. Ask yourself which actions are leading me forward and which ones are holding me back. Then replace the weak with the strong. If you cannot remove a bad ritual immediately, begin by crowding it out with a better one. You don't just stop scrolling your phone, you replace it with reading. You don't just stop wasting mornings, you replace them with planning. Nature hates a vacuum. When you reminisce of one ritual, fill the gap with another. Let me give you a simple framework for building rituals that compound success. 1. Start small. Don't try to overhaul your life overnight. Begin with one ritual in the morning and one in the evening. Success loves consistency, not intensity. Tie rituals to existing anchors. If you want to build a new ritual, attach it to something you already do. After brushing your teeth, review your goals. After your morning coffee, write down your priorities. Anchoring makes rituals stick. 3. Protect your rituals. Treat them as appointments with destiny. Don't break them casually. If someone asked to meet you during that time, would you say no? Then treat your ritual with the same respect. Review regularly. Every week, ask, are my rituals still serving my goals? If not, adjust. Remember, rituals are tools, not chains. And let us not forget, the greatest ritual of all is reflection. Take time each week to reflect on your actions, your progress, your direction. Reflection turns experience into wisdom. Without it, you are doomed to repeat mistakes. With it, you transform mistakes into lessons and lessons into growth. So, here's the challenge. Over the next 7 days, design your rituals. Choose 2 or 3 that will serve your body, your mind, and your spirit. Practice them daily without fail. At first, they will feel small. They will feel almost insignificant. But give them time and you will see these small hinges swing the biggest doors. Because in the end, my friends, success is not built in a day. It is built every day. And when you build rituals that serve your highest vision, you are not just passing time, you are shaping destiny. So I ask you, what rituals will define your life? The answer to that question is the answer to your future. My friends, let me tell you something that may sound harsh, but is absolutely true. You are not losing time because you do not have enough of it. You are losing time because it is being stolen. Yes, stolen, not by force, not by violence, but quietly, almost politely, in ways so subtle that you barely notice it happening. And yet, by the end of the day, the week, the month, the year, you find yourself wondering, where did my time go? Time has thieves. They do not break into your home. They do not pick the lock on your door. They walk right through the front gate of your mind. They steal your focus, your attention, your energy, and worst of all, they steal your destiny. But here is the truth. Thieves can only steal from you if you leave the door open. If you do not guard your time, if you do not stand watch over your hours, then you will wake up one day with a full calendar and an empty life. That is why eliminating the thieves of time is just a strategy. It is survival. Now let's identify these thieves because you cannot fight an enemy you cannot name. The thief of distraction. This is the most common thief and perhaps the most dangerous. Distraction is anything that pulls you away from what truly matters. It could be your phone buzzing every few minutes. It could be endless scrolling through social media. It could be gossip, unnecessary conversations, or even tasks that look important but add no real value. Distraction doesn't shout. It whispers. It says, just 5 minutes, just one more video, just one more scroll. And before you know it, hours are gone. But let me tell you, 5 minutes stolen daily becomes 30 hours a year. 30 hours wasted, not on rest, not on growth, but on noise. And what could you have built with 30 hours? A new skill, a side business, a better body, a stronger relationship. Don't underestimate the thief of distraction. It steals more than hours. It steals opportunities. So let me ask you, what are the thieves of time in your life? Be honest, write them down, name them, and then take action today to eliminate them, because time is not something you get back. Once it is gone forever. If you lose money, you can earn it again. If you lose health, you may recover. If you lose relationships, you can rebuild. But if you lose time, it is gone. That is why you must treat time as the most precious resource of all. Let me leave you with this thought. If you do not eliminate the thieves of time, they will eliminate your future. But if you guard your time, protect your hours, and live with discipline, then every day becomes a building block of a destiny you designed, not one that was stolen. So today, make the decision. No more thieves, no more wasted hours, no more drift. Take back your time because your future is waiting and it cannot afford to be robbed any longer. My friends, if you want to master your time, you must learn this lesson. Not everything matters. Let me repeat that. Not everything matters. The greatest tragedy is not that people are unproductive. The greatest tragedy is that people are productive doing the wrong things, busy but not effective, active but not advancing, running hard but running in the wrong direction. Have you ever had a day where you worked all day, checked boxes, answered calls, rushed around, and by nightfall you felt tired yet strangely empty? That is the curse of busyness without priority. You gave your energy to the small things while the big things, the things that truly move the needle, were left undone. You see, the secret is not doing more. The secret is doing what matters most. Because the truth is, success does not come from scattering your effort in 100 directions. Success comes from concentrating your effort on the few things that create the greatest results. Think of a magnifying glass. If you hold it over a piece of paper and move it quickly back and forth, nothing happens. But hold it steady, focused on one spot, and the sun's rays will ignite a fire. That is the difference between busyness and priority. Busyness scatters, priority concentrates, and only concentration has power. Now, how do you know what truly moves the needle? It starts with asking the right questions. What activity, if done consistently, would bring the greatest return in my life? Which tasks are urgent and which are important? And am I confusing the two? What is the one thing today that, if completed, would make everything else easier or unnecessary? Most people never ask these questions. They let urgency decide their day. They live in reaction instead of intention. The phone rings, they answer. An email arrives, they respond. Someone knocks, they open. And by the end of the day, their hours were stolen by other people's agendas. But those who master time live differently. They let priorities decide, not urgencies. Remember this, urgent things scream, but important things whisper. Your health will not shout at you today, but ignore it long enough and it will collapse. Your relationships will not beg for your attention every hour, but neglect them long enough and they will fade. Your dreams do not demand your focus, but if you keep postponing them for urgent matters, one day you will wake up to find they have disappeared. Don't let the whispers of what truly matters be drowned out by the shouts of what doesn't. So, let's break this down. There are 3 categories of activity in your life. 1, the trivial many. These are the small tasks. Emails, notifications, errands, minor obligations. They give you the illusion of progress, but they do not change your life. These tasks are like pebbles on the ground. No matter how many you pick up, you have not built a wall. The useful sum. These activities bring moderate value. They help maintain stability. They keep things running, but they are not transformative. Paying bills, attending meetings, organizing your desk, necessary but not life-changing. 3, the vital few. These are the needle movers. They are the big levers that create disproportionate results. They are the actions that, when done, move your life, your work, your future forward in ways the trivial and useful never could. Planning you. Our vision, investing in your health, nurturing your key relationships, developing a skill, executing on your most important project. These are the vital few and they deserve your best hours. This is what is often called the 80-20 principle. 80% of results come from 20% of activities. The key is to identify your 20%, the vital few, and give them priority every day. Now, how do you put this into practice? Let me give you a simple but powerful system. Step 1, identify your priorities. Write down your goals, long-term and short-term. Then ask what activities contribute most directly to these goals. Be ruthless. Eliminate anything that does not align. Remember, everything you do carries a cost. Every yes to something trivial is a no to something vital. Step 2, protect prime time. Don't give your best energy to the least important tasks. Many people spend their sharpest hours checking emails and their tired hours working on their dreams. That is backward. Protect your mornings, your freshest hours, for the needle-moving tasks. Push the trivial to the margins. Step 3, rank daily priorities. Each day, choose your top 3 priorities. Not 10, not 20, 3, and put them in order. Do not go to bed until those 3 are done. Everything else is bonus, but the top 3 are non-negotiable. Step 4, practice the art of elimination. Productivity is not about doing more. It is about doing less. Less of the trivial, less of the unnecessary, less of what drains you. Be bold enough to say no. Every eliminated task is time freed for what truly matters. Step 5, review and adjust. Priorities shift with seasons. What matters this month may not matter next month. That's okay. Regularly review and adjust. The goal is not rigidity. The goal is relevance. Now let me warn you, prioritizing what moves the needle is not easy. Why? Because the trivial is seductive. It feels good to check off 10 small tasks. It gives you the illusion of progress. Meanwhile, the big tasks, the ones that truly matter, are harder. They require focus, courage, patience. But remember this, what is easy now becomes hard later, and what is hard now becomes easy later. Do the hard things first. And here's another challenge. When you live by priority, you will be misunderstood. People will wonder why you say no so often. They will call you rigid, maybe even selfish. But do not apologize for protecting your destiny. Remember, they are not responsible for your future. You are. And one day, the same people who criticized your focus will admire your results. Let me also remind you that priorities are not only about work, they are about life. Many people succeed at work and fail at home because they did not prioritize relationships. Others build wealth but neglect health. What good is money if your body cannot enjoy it? What good is success if you are too sick, too tired, or too lonely to celebrate it? True priority is balanced. It moves the needle in every area of life. So let me ask you today, what is truly moving the needle for you? Are you spending your best hours on it, or are you drowning in the trivial, mistaking activity for progress? Because here's the truth. If you do not choose your priorities, the world will choose them for you. And the world will always choose what serves itself, not what serves you. But when you decide, when you stand firm and say, these are my priorities and I will guard them, you take control. You shift from being a singer to being the driver. And that, my friends, is the essence of mastering your time. So today I challenge you, choose your vital few, write them down, block time for them, say no to what doesn't serve them. And every day ask yourself, did I move the needle today? Because life is not measured by how busy you were. It is measured by how effective you were. And effectiveness comes only when you give yourself to what matters most. So stop scattering, start concentrating, and you will see that when you prioritize what truly moves the needle, you not only master your time, you master your life.